Have you ever felt utterly disconnected, as if the rhythm of your heart beats to a tune no one else can hear? Picture this: a scorching summer afternoon in which the world seems indifferent to your existence, leaving you to wonder if you truly belong. This is the haunting premise of Albert Camus' The Stranger, where the protagonist's silent defiance and detached demeanor challenge every expectation of how we should feel about life. Consider the experience of feeling invisible in a crowded room, like your inner voice is muted by the relentless hum of societal expectations. In that very moment, the seeds of authenticity begin to stir, inviting you to step away from pretense and embrace a life defined by raw truth. Camus invites us to confront the uncomfortable truth. Life, in its most unvarnished form, often appears absurd and indifferent, yet paradoxically, it is in this confrontation with meaninglessness that we discover our true freedom. By letting go of the need to adhere to society's prescribed emotions, we can begin to construct our own values and shape our destiny with deliberate authenticity. At the heart of The Stranger lies a confrontation with the absurd, a concept championed by Camus that has deep roots in existential and absurdist philosophy. Psychological studies in existential psychology reveal that feelings of alienation and meaninglessness are not mere anomalies, but fundamental aspects of the human condition. Research has shown that when individuals confront the inherent uncertainty of life, they often experience a burst of creativity and inner resilience. This phenomenon, sometimes described as post-traumatic growth, is echoed in the stoic indifference of Camus' protagonist. Thinkers like Nietzsche and Sartre have long maintained that the absence of preordained meaning in the universe is both a burden and a blessing. Nietzsche's proclamation that God is dead forces us to accept that we must create our own values, while Sartre's insistence on radical freedom underscores the responsibility and the power that comes with this creative act. Camus builds on these ideas in The Stranger, presenting a character who, in his detachment, ultimately exposes the contradictions of a world obsessed with emotional conformity. Real-life examples abound. Leaders, artists, and innovators often recount how moments of profound disillusionment spurred them to redefine their purpose and pursue their dreams with renewed vigor. For instance, consider an entrepreneur who, after a crushing failure, finds within that despair the spark of innovation that eventually leads to groundbreaking success. Such transformations underscore the idea that confronting and accepting life's inherent absurdity is not a sign of weakness, but a catalyst for authentic living. Imagine your life as a vast, turbulent ocean. Most of us spend our days trying to anchor ourselves to fleeting certainties, clinging desperately to the shore of conventional emotions. In The Stranger, Camus' protagonist navigates this ocean with a calm detachment, a steady vessel that refuses to be tossed about by every wave of expectation. This detachment, far from being cold or unfeeling, is a deliberate choice. It is the conscious decision to liberate oneself from the weight of societal judgments and the relentless pursuit of meaning dictated by others. Visualize detachment as a pair of clear, unclouded glasses. When you remove the tint of forced sentimentality, you see the world as it truly is, a place where chaos and beauty coexist. This clarity allows you to recognize that much of the emotional turbulence you experience is not a reflection of your inner worth, but a byproduct of external pressures. By embracing a measured detachment, you gain the freedom to define your own emotional landscape, rather than drowning in the expectations of what you should feel. You can choose to cultivate feelings that resonate with your authentic self. Consider the metaphor of a seasoned sailor who, having weathered countless storms, learns not to fear the wind, but to use it to navigate towards new horizons. Similarly, when you embrace detachment after a breakup or a significant setback, you begin to see each challenge as an opportunity to harness your inner strength. The emotional numbness, sometimes misinterpreted as apathy, is in reality a protective space, a momentary pause that allows for deep introspection and eventual renewal. Embracing detachment can lead to increased mental clarity, improved decision-making, and a heightened sense of inner peace. It paves the way for more authentic interactions, as you no longer project a facade to meet societal standards. Instead, you engage with the world from a place of genuine self-acceptance, which in turn fosters resilience and creativity. By adopting this mindset, you transform what many perceive as a void of emotion into a wellspring of inner strength. You become not a passive observer, but an active shaper of your destiny, navigating life's unpredictable waters with confidence and clarity. Despite its profound benefits, the idea of emotional detachment is often misunderstood. Many fear that detaching from our emotions means shutting down or becoming indifferent to life's joys and sorrows. However, Camus' vision in The Stranger is not about rejecting feelings altogether. It's about filtering out the noise of societal expectations to connect with what truly matters. One common misconception is that detachment is synonymous with coldness. In reality, detachment is a refined form of engagement. It is like tending a garden. You don't neglect your plants, but you also don't force them to grow according to someone else's blueprint. Instead, you allow each plant, each emotion to flourish naturally, creating a balanced ecosystem of inner life. This approach empowers you to experience emotions fully without being overwhelmed by them, and to respond to life's challenges with measured wisdom. Critics may argue that embracing detachment might lead to isolation. Yet, the paradox is that by freeing yourself from the constant need for external validation, you actually open up space for deeper, more meaningful connections. When you no longer allow societal pressures to dictate your emotional responses, you create room for authenticity. This authenticity is what draws people to you, forging bonds based on genuine understanding rather than superficial expectations. This approach resonates with the teachings of existentialists who assert that we are the architects of our own meaning. Instead of succumbing to the chaos of a prescribed emotional life, you have the freedom to choose how you respond. This isn't nihilism. It is the ultimate act of self-empowerment. By questioning the status quo of emotional conformity, you step into a space where you define your own values, creating a life that is uniquely your own. Additionally, modern research in cognitive therapy reinforces that balanced detachment can lead to better mental health outcomes. When you learn to observe your emotions without judgment, you reduce the impact of negative thought patterns and cultivate a more resilient mindset. Remember that true freedom lies not in the abandonment of emotion, but in the art of living authentically. By embracing a refined detachment, you learn to sift through the noise and connect with your genuine self, transforming the alienation of Camus' narrative into a source of inner strength and empowerment. Reflect on your own journey. Each moment of clarity, each decision to rise above societal pressures, builds the foundation of a life that is deeply your own. This is not a call to shut down your feelings, but an invitation to redefine them, to allow the essence of who you are to shine through even in the face of life's absurdities. Take a moment to ask yourself, how can you begin to cultivate authenticity in your daily life? Share your reflections and insights, and let your personal journey inspire others to break free from conventional expectations. Your story, told in honest and unfiltered truth, has the power to reshape your future and illuminate the path for those around you. The legacy of The Stranger is not one of resignation, but of radical freedom. The courage to forge your own meaning in an indifferent world. Step into the light of your own truth and let your authentic self lead you to a life of unbounded possibility.